I just got back from my trip to Bangkok, Thailand, where I had one of the most breathtaking experiences ever when I got to go to an elephant sanctuary. Now, this was about an hour-and-a-half drive outside of the city of Bangkok. And at this elephant sanctuary, we got to experience all different types of interactions with these elephants. This specific sanctuary had around 11 elephants, but one of them was pregnant and she would be giving birth to their 12th elephant in about 5 months. And these elephants were all over the individuals who were there. They knew that having visitors meant that they were going to get pampered with treats and baths, so they were all excited to see us. And we got to feed them first with some watermelons, where they came up to the pavilion where we were all waiting in order to get on to our specific teams. And after we fed them some watermelons, got to pet them a little bit, then one team went out to actually start bathing some of the elephants, where another team went out to start collecting more food for some other meals that these elephants would be eating. And then the teams swapped. So you got to do both experiences. So first, when we got to bathe the elephants, we actually first started off with giving them a little bit of a mud bath. So rubbing them with some mud on the outside of their skin. They got really excited with it. Some of them were even like flopping over and going upside down. And then they moved over into the river, where we got to get some brushes and actually brush them with the water and get off that mud, as well as anything else that was, stuck to the elephants. And a lot of them just were completely relaxed when they were going through this experience. They were just submerging themselves in the water. They were really enjoying getting to be pampered, and some of them were even spraying us with water out of their trunk. And then making the food was the second part, so you got to go and collect some of this food. I believe it was called banana leaves, but not like banana leaves that come from a banana tree, but a different type of this plant, which you would chop down, and then we collected it inside of one of the trucks. And then you got to take that banana leaves and mix it in with actual mushed up bananas, as well as some other nutrient grains that were all mashed together with water, and form these type of balls of nutrient dense food for the elephants. And this was really important for some of the older elephants, because as the elephants got older, they actually lose some of their teeth. So having really soft foods that are nutrient dense are super important for those elephants. These elephants ate a ton. I mean, they were constantly being fed different types of fruits, or they were eating that nutrient rich profile of mush, essentially. And also we got to hear some stories about how some of these elephants were actually saved. So these elephants came from all different types of environments over Thailand. Some of them were actually used previously in construction, so they were rescued after they had been taken from the environment, and then they were used essentially as workhorses in different industries. There was also some that were rescued from the city itself. So some elephants found their way into the city by being essentially poached by individuals, and then they would be used as a form of entertainment, especially for tourists. So this is extremely uncomfortable for those elephants, as you're putting them inside of a city environment. So getting them out of there and getting them to that sanctuary was super important. Plus, one other thing we got to learn while we were there is that these elephants, sometimes they wear bells around their neck so you can hear when they're coming, but they're not chained up and they're not caged in. And this can sometimes cause a little bit of a problem, as some of the folks who work at this elephant sanctuary we're talking about, as some of the elephants have actually just walked right out the front gate before and headed on their way to a local market and just started to eat whatever they want without paying for it first. So even though these elephants have a lot of freedom at the elephant sanctuary, sometimes they like to push their luck and extend that freedom as much as they want to. But I mean, who doesn't like an all-you-can-eat buffet, right? So this was a really great experience that I was fortunate enough to partake in, and I encourage anyone who is really passionate about going to visit an elephant sanctuary to just do a little bit of your research, find one that you know is ethical and is treating their elephants correctly, and that is really taking the money and the information and all the tourism from what they're doing and putting it back into the elephants that they're rescuing. So be sure to subscribe to my channel to learn more about different travel tips or travel places that I get to go, as well as to stay up to date on all the science content that I release in 2 minutes or less. Thank you.